Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to go deep down the rabbit hole. It's going to get interesting. A very, very new topic that I've been studying for a while now, trying to completely understand. And I finally have all the information we need. We're talking about video game subscription services. What is that? Well, you ever heard of PlayStation Plus? You ever heard of Xbox Game Pass? You ever heard of EA Play or Ubisoft Plus, and so much more? There's tons and tons of them. We're not going to focus heavily on all of them, and we're going to talk about two of them mainly and showcase some special things. But the key component here is that I'm going to break down how it all works, and which is going to help you understand everything else in the system. So stick around, get going. Let's get this party started. All right. Feeling really good about it. It's going to be a fun one. Hopefully I can get my camera situated here. There it is. Don't mind me. This is like a renovation of how I'm going to stream in the near future. I'm working on that, but it has nothing to do with this. Hello, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. It's going to be a great show. I'm very excited about this. I spent months, and I mean all year, trying to dig in and get research. Now, I will say I have classified information that I can't share, names of studios and things like that, but I have a lot of resources at my hand and evidence to prove about what the services are doing and how they're working. And some of this is public, some of it is private. You can do your research on yourself. I will be posting up some stuff on Twitter this next couple days as I continue to talk about this. This has been a very serious topic, nonstop on my stream for months now. I mean, we go in and out of this topic every day, basically. There's not a day that it doesn't pop up in the conversation. Rightfully so. It's a part of the future. It's super fun. It's super interesting. It's a lot to figure out for the business side, but also for us gamers, it's the best. So live services, aka the video game subscription services, are pretty much like the Netflix of gaming, and you're able to get a lot. And us gamers, we want the best bang for our buck, right? You'll pay full price for a game and you want as many hours as you can get out of it. And there's a lot of times, a lot of great games have replayability and they have online features and they do a lot of different things to facilitate that. The thing is that without budgets, without money, studios can't make their games. So today we're going to get into some of the nerdy breakdown of how it works and what is going on. And first, I want to just break that down. For me to make a video game, I need a budget. I need to be able to pay all of these employees and also have the equipment so that we can put in the time, which costs money, to design a video game. It's not that I thought of it and it magically appears. I have to own equipment. I have to take the time and go through the process of making the game. So production costs a lot of money for some video games. There's video games over $180 million worth just to produce it. Never mind to market it and to do the rest. Just to produce that one game, that's how much money some companies have spent throughout these years. There's way more than that, but that's just an example. 180 million for a video game that you pay 60 to 70 bucks for. It's a lot of money. So they have to recuperate their money. They have to, make profit so they can continue to keep their studios open. And there's a lot to that aspect. Us gamers don't think about that. The majority of us just want to play a video game and have fun. And that is perfectly fine. That is your prerogative. And I'm going to actually stretch out my camera here. This thing is a little sloppy. I don't like it like that. It's going to make me look weird. Yeah, it's going to make me look weird. But it is what it is. We're going to do this instead. All right. So anyways, all that said, make sure you understand that part of it. because the second part is where this comes into play. So in the old-fashioned days, people will buy a game physically, pay for it, and they basically give the money to the studios. The retail places will make a small cut, and everybody's happy because they retail makes a couple dollars. The company making the product makes a lot of money for their studio to continue to build and grow and to go forward. Nowadays, we have the digital same thing, where I don't have to buy the cover and the artwork. I could just buy it digitally and have it on my system at all times, which I personally love now. It's the way to go. It's very convenient. You don't have to have clutter. It's just the best. But here's where the twist comes in. These new services called subscription services for video games, they are offering the digital ownership of those games. Now, you don't own the games. If you leave the subscription, most times you will not own the games anymore, and that's the way they keep you on a monthly subscription. So all of a sudden it's like, hey, I got to stay with this forever, and that is a big factor if the company is worth subscribing to, because if you can't keep the games that you want to play consistently and you don't like the service, you're screwed. So there's a lot of like, is this valuable? And we'll get into that later on in the show. We'll break that down. But I just wanted to start off with the base. That is the foundation. That might be a lot to take in. I'm going to break the real meat of this situation down. The meat of the situation is there's a bunch of different subscriptions. You and me, the players, purchasing these subscriptions because of what they're offering. And there are companies that won't offer the same value as others do. And it's like, I don't really want to play these games, and now I don't own them. I just spent a year, $100 and whatever dollars for that service, and I had some fun, but was it worth all that money? And I have to keep subscribing for 3 years. I didn't get anything good, and then the fourth year I got something good, and it could be a problem for us as players. So these companies are trying to put out, you know, little gimmicks and hooks to sink you in, whether it's day ones releases, you know, that's a somewhat of a gimmick there. Oh, come on, come with us, please. And there's a bunch of different things like that. The issue is sometimes these contracts expire, so you subscribe for a game and it's no longer in the service, and that is a big problem. So there's tons of issues to get into, but I want to break down the science, and I want to give a shout out to my man in the chat. Hello. What's going on? I know you probably got some questions about the tournament. Right now, it's not the time. We're sticking to the topic, which is subscription-based services. Let's talk about it. If you got any comments when it comes to PlayStation or Xbox, if you have any of those subscriptions, PlayStation Plus or Xbox Game Pass or EA Play, even Ubisoft Plus, all of these and more, there's plenty of them out there. Feel free to leave your comments about that. We want to stick to the general topic today for the most part. I appreciate you coming by. I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's good with you. You have the ultimate. There you go. So give me your thoughts and opinions and feelings on what you had so far. I'm going to break down some stuff that's going to really interest you, and you're going to be like, oh, wow, I didn't even think about that. And it's going to hopefully help you appreciate these things a little more. You know, it's a lot to get into. I don't want to go deep down the rabbit hole, but we're going to dive just a little bit. I think I'm in the right chat. There it is. Oh man. First of all, I'm learning as I go here, so don't mind me. Oh man, where is the chat? There it is. Okay. Let me fix this chat. There we go. Okay. So as you can see here, you bought it for your new, haven't bought it for your new account. Got you. So what we're going to do is we're going to showcase some of these services, and we're going to explain how it works. Okay. I don't know where to start, but we're going to start with a small game. Let's just say something nobody really knows. I mean, PlayStation has a lot of great games. It's the problem. You got to go to like a very small game that's not too big. So if I go down here, let me just scroll down and try to find something small. And guys, there's too many good big games, but we're just trying to scroll down. And the reason I want to do this is to explain. Now, this is all theoretical, but I'm going to break down how it all works. Okay, so just hear me out for a second here. Okay, let's make believe right here. My friend Pablo. This game is fun. This game is cool. I thought it was interesting. We're going to look at it real quick. And the reason I want to talk about this is very simple. Okay, as a subscription service, let's say I'm PlayStation or Xbox or one of these companies. I want this game on my service. I'm going to go to them, and there's a lot of different ways on how we can make a deal so that they could make money, so that we could make money, so that the players can play these games, right? So there's tons and tons, and I mean tons of different ways to go about this. Number one, for a small studio like this one over here, what they usually want to do is talk to the developers. It depends on each game is very different. The deal that these subscription services offer is different. A small studio can say, hey, you give us 50,000 up front, we'll put the game on your service. Then all of a sudden, my friend Pablo is on PlayStation Plus, or he's on Xbox Game Pass. They wanted the 50,000 so that they can cover all their production, right? It's like, hey, what do you want? Okay, you're gonna cover our production? Fine. But I want to keep the money if I sell in other services. If I go sell my game at GameStop, or I sell my game at Amazon, or I sell my game in all these different places, I want to keep that money. You give me 50,000 to put it on yours, and then you can keep whatever money you make off of it, but I'm going to keep the money from other services. So then they'll make those type of deals to allow them to profit also. It could be beneficial for some of these companies. The thing is, if the game is really big and it's the best out there, they're going to lose out on a lot of money because they took $50,000 deal, which is a no-go when they made, 40 million off of it. If you only take 50,000 because it's a small game, but it becomes one of the best games of the year, and you're losing big profits as a studio, and it's sad. And then you probably don't want to go back to that subscription service and that deal anymore because they basically robbed you. And you signed a contract, so nobody robbed you. You agreed to this. Okay? And that's how a lot of these big and medium-sized studios make a deal with the services from Xbox or PlayStation. And the thing is, that's only one form of how it goes. The normal form that they started, which was much like, with Spotify for a music artist, the usage and monetizations goes by those artists. So, for example, let's switch up the game and we go into a bigger game. We're going to kind of go up to the top now and just grab whatever game's up here that's big. Death Stranding, for example, they're saying, hey, you're one of the best. Oh, no, we're not going to go with Death Stranding just because that's a exclusive right now. But if you look at Mortal Kombat, for example, if they're like, hey, you're a big game, you're going to make a lot of money, we're going to give you only the usages. We're not going to pay you up front. We're going to pay you for the usage and your monetization on this. Then all of a sudden you're making a lot of profit because everybody's playing your game. It's one of the popular games, right? That 2K, GTA. If you look at those games, they're really big. For example, 2K, one of the biggest games every single year. They have some of the biggest services because they basically, get millions and millions of players on there. So they're going to make money off of usage and monetization. They're not going to want to pay for my production deal like the small studios do. They want something big. And the reason I'm bringing all this up, guys, is to help y'all understand these services. And then it's going to help you want to purchase the right service for you in the long run. You can keep going in and out of them, but there are some services that are gimmicky and they're just trying to hook you in and they don't really have much to offer. You don't want to waste your money on that type of experience. But so that's the deal. Those are the two major factors that you want to pay attention. Small and medium studios, they want the upfront money, they want to get themselves out there, and they want to try and expand as quickly as possible. But the big guys want to get paid by the usage and the monetization of the product. That's going to help them with tons and tons of money. So yeah. So let's read some comments real quick. Hulu says, I was thinking it's pretty good on our monthly so far. Personally, yeah, I used to have the deals every month for sure, bro. There's a lot of games on PlayStation Plus, big time. And 2K is always massive. They always made the game well and close to real life basketball for sure, man. But yeah, so the topic is more about the studios and how the deals are made and how the money's made, just to help people understand that side. Now we're going to get into a second side, and we're going to get into us. And this is more for the players. And hopefully that helped you understand about deals. Now you're going to keep that in mind as you go through the list of what video games are out here and what is going on. Right. So an example, like I was saying earlier, studios like the Spider-Man studio or Death Stranding that are exclusive to PlayStation Returnal, they're going to get extra support by PlayStation because they are exclusives, but they need their money. I don't know how much these studios all cost to make that one game, but it's in the millions and millions of dollars. So this is where that conversation, and we're going to get into it, the gimmick of day one releases, which sounds really good and I love it personally, but it's not that healthy for these big games. You spend a lifetime making a Ghost of Tsushima, a once in a lifetime game that's one of the greatest samurai ninja games that has ever existed in mankind. I like right now, that's it. I can argue for it to be the best samurai ninja game that there's ever been. And if somebody wants to tell me, please tell me in the chat, what game surpasses it? Ninja Gaiden and all these other ones. Let me know what you feel, what you think. There's no wrong answers. This game to me is hard to beat. I love this game to death. It's so amazing. With all that is said, it costs a lot of money to make, and to put it as a day one pass, they probably won't profit even a half of what they make originally. Now, PlayStation will profit because PlayStation will get subscribers. Everybody's going to want to play the game of the year. But the problem is the studio is not PlayStation. The studio is its own individual product, and they have to survive. So it's a troublesome situation on how to go about this in the current state. There's no evidence on putting out a game this big. You know, for example, God of War is coming out in November. Spoiler alert. When it comes out in November, that game costs too much money to put on a day one pass. And if they did, I would wonder, what is the numbers? You know, and then now we're going to switch it over and go to Xbox. They don't have God of War, Horizon, Forbidden West type of games at the moment, sadly, but they're working their way up there. Okay. And we're going to go through some of their lists and talk about what they do and how they do it. Okay. I do think they're doing good, in my opinion. I do like Xbox for trying to evolve. So we can talk about it and get into the topics and go from there. You said they have games like Forza, right? Yeah. So Xbox has Gears of War, one of the best that they have. Halo, Forza are the top three, in my opinion, of big titles. All right. I would like to see the numbers on profit from games that they don't make any money off of through Game Pass. We're looking at Game Pass right now. This is the actual website with all of their games. So these are the day where we're going to go to, what is it? Day one passes. Let's see. Day one games. Okay. And we're going to look at the list so you can understand the logic. All right. Sniper Elite 5, one of my favorite games of the year. It's amazing. It has a lot of cool stealth. It has a lot of cool sniping. It has a great multiplayer, in my opinion. It's well put together on every level. Top 10 game of the year, in my opinion, easily. All right. Then you got Flop Nights. And first of all, I'm not disrespecting any studio when I say all this, and apologies. I'm going to casually call games weak or low, not too high on the radar. I don't think anybody even knows what this is. You know, it's a miracle that it exists. So this is okay. Xbox gives them 50,000 and says, that's how much it costs for your production. Here, take that. We're going to put it on our service. And then you can go sell your game to PlayStation, Nintendo. You can put it on Steam, whatever you want. Keep the money. And everybody wins because it's a small game that they're not going to really lose profit off of, because it's only a couple bucks to Xbox and it's only a minor game. And no disrespect to this game, it might be a great game. I never played it, but the point is it's a small indie game. So that's how that works. And then you go down the line and you look at a lot of like smaller games that are not really too big of a deal. Then you come to Outriders, a game that had a lot of bugs and people were downing for a while. It's making a rise back. It has a DLC coming out in the 30th, which I'm excited for, which it's probably going to make this game extremely popular again, and it's going to sell well for them. But they're not going to make a penny off of the Xbox if they have the same type of deal where they took money up front and didn't ask for usage money or didn't ask for monetization setups. So they can crush themselves and lose a lot of money because they got desperate and put their game on Game Pass so that they can have more players. And this is a problem. So then now people behind the scenes are like, oh, Outriders ain't making no more DLCs, no more content, they suck. And it's not their fault. They're losing money because of the putting their game on the service and not being able to profit because they made a bad deal. So this is where the contracts and the new setups for these services are very difficult to manage. At the moment, they do a simple job. They give you either the money up front or they do a usage and monetization deal. But you're gonna have to readjust all this. You want to have the big games on here. You want to be like, hey, we got the biggest games for you. Then they have to provide a better service, and that's again for the players. And then you see a lot of these games are not games people will play. Ori's amazing. I'm not gonna lie. The Outer Worlds was fun for me. I enjoyed that. Minecraft Dungeons, I've never played it, but I'm sure it's great. Forza 5, I played it, but I wasn't that into it. But hey, it's a pretty big game and people like it. So that's the first list of like 20 games here, right? And we named about 4 games that were decent, not spectacular, like big crazy games that are like, oh my goodness, but decent. Then we go down to the next row and we have Gears Tactics. I actually never played this one. I played the first 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Never this like spin-off. I'm not even sure what that is. I've seen trailers before, but I never paid attention. Then right after that, you have Halo, the big boy. This is supposed to be the big boy. And if you saw the gameplay from the story, really wasn't great. It was pretty bad. The graphics were bad. They were like a PlayStation 3 graphics on the story. It was kind of sad. And the multiplayer is still fun. The multiplayer is a blast. I actually play the multiplayer once in a while. I'll just jump on to feel it, you know, on the PC. But the question now is, what type of numbers are they making? And I don't think they'll ever make it public. And their deal, what is their deal? They're gonna have usage and monetization because this is their game. Xbox owns this company. So those are the things you got to understand. Now the question is, what am I getting out of this? Is this something that I value, right? And we're gonna compare this to the PlayStation Plus one. Where am I valuing? Okay, we got Halo. Okay, we got Gears of War. Okay, we got Forza. What else? And then there's just like games here and there that they sprinkle in from time to time. But if you look through, there's not much unless you're really into the indie games. Ascend was nice. 12 minutes. I love that game actually. And then you have a bunch of more indie games that you probably never heard of. I can't even say the names because you never heard of them. You got Back for Blood, not the best game, but a decent game. Another game you could just kick back and play on with some friends if they all have it. So there's tons and tons of conversations to talk about with these games. But the question is it enough for me to stay in this service? If I can only pick one, or if I'm paying for all of them, right? Ubisoft Plus, EA Play, PlayStation Plus, Xbox Game Pass, if I'm on all of these services, it's a tough time. So I'm gonna go back to the PlayStation one, and the reason I come here is because we want to try to showcase a couple of things on this side of the world. Man, where am I doing? Let me see if I can get into the catalog. I'm gonna go to all the games and then try to go to just this right here, whatever. So in PlayStation, and you say you make a lot of points people don't think of. Yeah, and you got to think about this because this is your money, right? Like I have all the services. I got to stop doing that, and I'll minimize some in the near future. I've been thinking about it a lot. I did my research on all this, but so you're looking at, you know, Spider-Man only on PlayStation, Uncharted only on PlayStation. You know, you go down the list of exclusives and you're like, damn, Ghost of Tsushima, you know, Last of Us, and there's a long list of exclusives you can only get here. So then you're like, damn, I really, and there's a long list. Death Stranding. You just go down the long list of games that are exclusive. Horizon, God of War, and it just don't stop, basically. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can do something. But yeah, so the list doesn't stop with the PlayStation featured games that are incredible, and they're not just small, quick indie games that you play for 2 hours. They're big, expansive universes, a lot to enjoy and to get into. But yeah, so must play right here. We'll just go down the list. Demon Souls, Returnal, my game of the year from last year. Like I was saying, Horizon, God of War, Control, and there's more, of course. But the principle here that I'm making is there's a value here of like, okay, this is big time. My problem, and this is what I wanted to tell you, talk about things that people don't think about, is like I said earlier, let's just make believe that the Ghost of Tsushima got released for free for anybody with PlayStation Plus. I'm gonna take it. I ain't mad. You're gonna take it. Everybody's gonna take it. Now, how much did they make? Did they make good enough to make another game, or are they struggling and now they're gonna make a crappy part 2? I would be very upset, because I would rather pay full price to get a second game than to get the game for free on a service and then get cheap games for the rest of my life. Because that's what will happen. They'll make one decent game for free, the first one, and then the budget's so low for the second one, they can't actually produce a quality game. And then you're sitting here like, hey, I got the Xbox Day One Pass. Oh my God. And you're getting Halo, which wasn't the best for story. Only the multiplayer is good. They didn't make enough money to go and invest again. They're like, hey, we're losing money on this game. We got to give it up. Let's move on. And that's what happens with these series in general, with just regular no services allowed. In regular, they put the game out and it doesn't sell well. They try to make a part 2 that's low budget, and you're like, this game sucks, worse than the first one. And then that goes down the drain. And that's what's going to happen to these services and their products. The quality is going to keep dropping if we're going to get everything for free with one small price, and there's no actual way to monetize it properly. Now we're going to take a time out, and I want to explain that. On Spotify, I can upload a song right now, my song, my music. I can upload it today, and I can get 1 million views, and I forget how much you make, but it's like $1,000 for the 1 million views. How does that work? Well, I'm getting paid for the usage. So the more people that are subscribed, the 1 million people that subscribe, 1 million people subscribe for Spotify is like $10 per person. 1 million times 10, right? You do the numbers, $10 million, and they're gonna give me 1,000 only out of that. I'm getting screwed, but I'm also getting blessed, because if I get 10 million people, now I'm making more money, and it can help me make another album, maybe go on tour and pay for my my everything that I'm doing, you know. You said, yep, I agree with you. I don't mind paying $60 for a big game, knowing they're most likely doing good enough. I'll get a couple years in front end and a sequel. Yeah, that's exactly the point. Now, the problem with that is, as a gamer, you and me both, like, let's just be honest, bro. If we could get all the games for free and get away with it and it be legal, you know what I mean? Like, I'm taking it. But because we're not considering the studio that's making it, we're not considering the business of like, okay, they're gonna make another one, or they're gonna give us a DLC, they're gonna give us updates. Even an update costs thousands upon thousands of dollars. Oh, y'all need to fix this one thing. Every week you want to update. Well, it costs thousands upon thousands to make one outfit in a video game. It's over $50,000 to make one little outfit. A shirt and a pair of pants on a character can cost over $50,000 for studios. It's not like they just press one button and they make a magical outfit. $50,000 just to make an outfit. So when you're sitting there like, oh, we need a new skin, and then all the skin conversations, $50,000 or more. So if we got all that for free all the time, where they're making their money. Now, it's not my problem, right? I'm not making these games. I don't really care. I want to just play them, make a good game and shut up. That's what I say to everybody, right? But in reality, what I invest in is what I'm going to get back. So it's a little bit of a worry about these services. And I'm not preaching that it's a bad service or that this service shouldn't exist. I'm not preaching anything negative today. First of all, I'm preaching the understanding of it so you can select what you really want and what you want to do with your service as you go forward. Okay, that's all I'm preaching, and it's complicated. I don't have the answers. I don't have no idea. I mean, zero idea about all of this stuff. Okay, what I mean by that is, like, I don't know how to make a game. I don't know. Well, I do know how to make a game a little bit, but I don't know all of the ins and outs of the business. There's a lot of political, investors and this and that, and then like you got to get a whole team. It's tons and tons of stuff, deep layer after layer after layer, that's over my head. I know that I want to come home and put on the damn game, and that next year, if they could give me a Spider-Man Part 2, I'm gonna be happy. And if they could give me a Ghost of Tsushima Part 2, I'm gonna be even more happy, because it's one of my favorite games of all time. I love this game. Like, I want to kiss the game. That's how much I love it. Returnal, if they can do another game that's something like this, really wild, a lot of action, it was pretty fun. I love that game. Okay, God of War, please give me more. If not, it's a problem. If you're gonna give me a day one pass and not give me these type of games, we got a problem. But if you can give me these games and then give me them for free too with the service, I'm taking it. As you can see, we have the service right here. All right, so it's not like I'm saying I won't pay for these services. I have these services, and I'm happy to present them to you, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation. Xbox, for example, I'll be honest, and y'all tell me your true thoughts about this. How do you really feel about this day one stuff? I feel excited every time I hear a new game is going on day one pass. I'm like, that's dope. That's dope. And I actually sneakily go on my PC and I try the game out, and I'm like, nah, I don't really like this. Oh, I like this. Oh, this game's, this game's whatever. And I test them because I have the service for $1 a month, because it's cheap right now. They want to hook you in and keep you in there. But what I look at is that there's not much that's actually substantial when it comes to day one releases. There's not like a God of War, Horizon, Ghost of Tsushima. It's just, hey, this is a lot of indie games, and then a couple multiplayers and a couple of decent ones. Like, 100% Sniper Elites to me is top tier. So the question now is, where do we meet in the middle for these services? How do we get the quality that PlayStation has for Xbox without them losing, everything that they're doing? Because Xbox is doing really good with the hype. The gimmick of day one pass is amazing. It's exciting. It's like, oh, I could play that game for free today. Cool. And then you get on and you're like, I like this service. This service is nice. Feels good. If I come home every day and there's something free, not every day, but every once a month or whatever it is, I get something free, I'm down with that. you know. Now the thing is, PlayStation offers about 3 to 4 games a month free, and they have the other PlayStation Now that they add more games. Now it's all combined, so you're gonna probably get at least 6 to 7 games a month consistently, because they keep on adding games to PlayStation Now and PlayStation Plus, which is together now. So they're gonna do it all together. Back in the day, you'll get 3 PlayStation Plus games, and then you'll get 4 PlayStation Now games. So that's 7 if I do my math right. Now they're combining it, so you'll end up getting a bunch of different games. They're not going to all be day one brand new games that come out yesterday, but if you look at these lists and we went down some of the categories, you'll be like, damn, okay, there's not a lot there. And we went through some of Xbox's thoroughly here, and we were on the 4th page of games, and you only found 4 games right here. The Show, MLB, that's a good game. Halo, was it Forza, and Gears of War. All 4 of those games are really nice, right? If you're into them, if you're into racing or baseball, you can play those games right now. And then the rest are just games that you probably will ignore. But there's plenty of smaller games that are fun to have. So it's just a deeper conversation about value and so on. So, I mean, if you have an Xbox, there's no way around it. You have to get the Xbox Game Pass. But if you don't have Xbox, it's a waste. You can actually utilize your money properly. If you're a PC player, just stick to PC. You're going to be fine. PlayStation and Xbox allow you to play on PC. So you can use all these games that I'm showcasing on the PC, man. Yeah, no. But yeah, to wrap it up and to help you guys understand one more time, I want to break it down. I'm about to watch this basketball game. The Celtics and the Golden State Warriors are playing tonight. So I was explaining the services. All right. So the way the video game subscription services work, the companies, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, they'll talk to the small studios, say, hey, how much it costs you to produce? How much costs for the production of your game? And they're like, 40,000. All right, we'll pay you your 40,000 right now if you let us put your game on our service. Is that a yes or a no? And you can keep all the money from other opportunities, meaning you can sell it at GameStop, you can sell it at all the other services throughout anywhere. You want to put it on Steam, you want to put it on Nintendo, feel free, make your money. We're going to pay for your production. You can just put it on ours. They pay for it. They put it in there. It's a small studio. All of a sudden, they're like, hey, we got some money. That's cool. But then the service actually blows up with that game. That game could make way more money, and they didn't even see a penny of it because they decided to take the money. And it happens to us. I know I'm from the ghetto. I grew up poor. I grew up on welfare. I grew up with my mom who was disabled. I grew up, I mean, we gotta pull a violin out, guys. But all of that, I grew up in desperate times. Take this money, take the 10,000 now or get 20,000 later. It's like, I need the 10,000 now. I'm about to get evicted. I have to pay the rent. So I'll take the deal, right? Just like these small studios do. And then they lose profit. And then all of a sudden they're like, we can't even keep the studio open. Pandemic came. We might as well just shut this thing down. Then you ain't getting no more games. You know what I mean? But yeah. Gotta add in one of the most biggest sports championships in the world. What are you talking about? NBA? I'm gonna watch it right now in an hour at 9 o'clock, bro. I'm jumping off this stream. I could stay on the stream, but yeah, I might stay on the stream. We'll see. The chat needs to pop off, but I'm trying to break down the explanation of how a small studio gets a deal with Xbox or PlayStation for these services. It's very important to understand that. Then for the bigger ones, it's more about monetization, right? You're like, you're so big, Spider-Man's, you're gonna get usage. We're going to pay you for the usage and the monetization. Here we go. Let's set up the contract that works for you. This is how we're going to do it. Next thing you know, Spider-Man comes on and it's piling up subscribers. Oh, boom, 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 boom. 2 million subscribers subscribe to to PlayStation Plus just because of Spider-Man releasing tomorrow. Everybody's subscribing today. Like, oh, let's go. If they say God of War is gonna come out on the service, that everybody's gonna go crazy. So there's plenty and plenty to understand that that's how that works. And then us as the players, we don't care, right? We don't care about this stuff. Even me, I'm just like, hey man, if you won't give me it for free, you know what I'm saying? Like that God of War Ragnarok, bro, send it over. Play. You want to throw it in there? I ain't mad at you, bro. But my worry would be that the sequel will not have the budget because they didn't do a good deal behind the scenes for the studio. So it's just the thing. Yo, chat, join the convo. Ask questions. Learn as much as possible. Word. Mag is the GOAT. I appreciate that. I pay him to say this, by the way. He's doing a good job. I might give him an extra bonus check. Yeah, no. Nah, man, I appreciate you for saying that, dude. Again, I just was studying this because last year, studio, the way this happened was for me, a studio last year was asking for my help. And I don't want to talk about this too much, but they basically wanted me to be a tester, feedback, idea, concept person to help them make a game, because they came to my stream and they heard me sharing ideas and they're like, you're really good. We think we could use you. And I'm like, okay. And I was doing it for free. And then they wanted to offer me money. And I was like, no. And they're like, oh my God. And the person, my bad. The person got emotional. I got a little emotional just now. The person got emotional. They called me and said, I can't believe, you're not taking this money for all that time and energy you given to us. They sold one of their cars and they were just like talking about their private life. And I was like, damn. I was like, I didn't even, I'm thinking these people are rich, thinking they got money. I just wanted to work with them to learn about the industry because I don't know how to develop games. I'm not a animator or something like that. So it was pretty heavy, the conversation. It was like personal business. And I was like, damn, like I just saved this studio and I'm not even involved. I'm not employed by them. I was just volunteering to help them every weekend whenever I could. Play for like 4 hours, 5 hours, write a quick breakdown of what I played and I didn't like this, or there's a bug here. I was doing a lot of stuff for them. And anyway, I started learning about the service because they ended up, getting in there. And there's a couple of other people that I know that have studios that are working on their games too. And I'm actually helping them a little bit too with, trying to develop the good game to get these type of services and get money off of it from the world too. So I've been learning a lot and I'm just sharing this part of it as far as like the study that I did and the people that I've asked about Game Pass. It's pretty unique because it's new. So this is all going to change. Everything that I'm saying today, these publishers, PlayStation Plus and Xbox Game Pass, are experimenting. So they're like trying to offer people a lot of money. Like, hey, let us put this game on here and this is all we're going to pay you. Then you can keep the rest of the money you make off of other people. And that is a good way because then they don't have to suffer and they can keep all the revenue for themselves. Then the other way is the right way in a way, kind of, which is the usage. How many times somebody's playing that game, and the monetization which is things that are people purchasing in the game and things like that. These are all a part of the deal and the contracts that they sign and stuff. So it's pretty crazy. And again, for Xbox fans, the day one pass is a little worrisome for studios. There's been a lot of studios that told me they're not comfortable with that it's not healthy business, because you want to make the most money you can as a studio so that you could keep on building on the game and for a sequel and to keep your studio running. So, but there's billions of dollars in the gaming industry, man. Billions and billions of dollars. So don't sleep. Do not sleep. Let's compare these services real quick. This is what I want y'all to understand. All right. There's 460 games on Xbox. And we'll say they have probably 50 exclusives. Maybe 50 exclusives, all of the Halos, all of the Gears of War, all of the Horizon. That's like 20 right there, maybe 30. And then you add in other exclusives that they had. Now, all of these games are kind of exclusive because now you can play them all on PC. Everything. And you don't even need an Xbox at all. But they have 46 in total video games and some decent exclusives. So you have to look at those numbers and say, okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. And then you go into PlayStation, which I'm on right here. You're watching it live. PlayStation has 800 games on their service. Okay. If I go down this list right here that we're on, it'll take me a half hour. Well, I'm lying. It'll probably take me 2 minutes. I'll just start going down now while we talk. And you can see it won't end. It's a never-ending circle of video games. And if you look carefully, there's Final Fantasy, there's Division, there's Uncharted, all the amazing exclusives, and some really big third-party titles. Killzone, more Uncharted, Shenmue. You know, just endless amounts of games that to play. 800. So they pretty much have everything Xbox has plus a double that up. So they double up what Xbox has as far as volume, and then exclusivity they quadruple that up. And then when it comes to like multiplayers, pretty much everybody has the same games for the most part. The one thing that Xbox does have, if we're doing a comparison and we're breaking it all the way down, is the fact that they have some games that are releasing this week or next week that you can get for free through the service. So very easy, very simple, beautiful. I love it. But again, it's a nice value, but that's all I'm getting. The actual out of, if I had to compare these two, it's very difficult to defend Xbox because I'm like, damn, PlayStation's offering me everything you got, except every couple months you'll put out a game for Game Pass day one that's actually worth it. That's like, yo, I got to play that game. Now, do I want to pay full price? No. If I don't have to, sure. But do I want to pay for the service if I'm only going to get like 2 or 3 games a year? That's like, oh, I got to play that from the service. Is it worth it? I don't know. We got to see the numbers, see the games every year, and it changes. And the reason I know this is because I've had EA Play, or I had Ubisoft Plus, I had all of those services, and there are times where they just don't have enough, you know. And I do feel like PlayStation, with the 800 games plus with the exclusives that they have in there, with the amazing multiplayer games that everybody plays, the multi-platform games, I'm sorry. So it's just a topic of conversation to kind of get into and see what we're doing. And that's pretty much it, man. I just wanted to jump in a little bit, compare them both, discuss some of the breakdowns and things like that. As you can see here, just so you guys can understand, this number right here is how many games are on the Xbox right now. This is all of the games on the Xbox Game Pass. You see right here, this is Xbox Game on the website. And then when you go down to selection, you can go to all and see how many is there. And then we can look at most popular, for example. Most popular, Assassin's Creed Origins. We have that on our thing. As a matter of fact, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla on the PlayStation. If I was to go like a full breakdown and do this craziness, we got Valhalla. Y'all got Origins, which was 2 games ago, and we got the brand new one that just came out. Then you go down the list, and you know, you just keep on like, okay, what is it? 2K for Xbox. You see it right here, NBA 2K. Oops, I might have opened it up. NBA 2K day one pass. Well, not day one pass, but they put it on there. But it's also on the PlayStation. Well, look at that. So you have it on Xbox and you got it on PlayStation. So the argument about, multi-platform. They're like Xbox, so does PlayStation. These are simple games that everybody plays, right? 2K, a sport game, Madden, another sport game. These are type of things that are basically coming together because of the service, you know. But yeah, so everybody's different on what they like, but a lot of these multi-platform games, for example, Rainbow Six or the show, FIFA 21. Well, we got 22 coming out actually soon. It's coming to the PlayStation soon. So those are the type of things where you look at it, you're like, well, they really don't have actual platform. People argue on, you know, Twitter. If you go on my Twitter, you'll see somebody saying, oh, Xbox got way more multi-platform games that I want to play. And it's like, okay, which ones? And then if they name them, you'll say, oh, that's not true. Other than Halo, because it's an exclusive. Other than like Gears of War, Forza, and things like that. So just an example of like trying to compare it for yourself and what is worth it. Now, again, if you have all your friends on Xbox, that's perfectly fine. Man, if you have everybody that you play on Nintendo only, Nintendo Switch, feel free. I love the Nintendo Switch. I think the Nintendo Switch is better than Xbox. I'll just go out and say it. I think the Nintendo Switch has more value than the Xbox is what I mean right now. Next year, we'll see, because the Xbox is putting out a lot of games next year. They're not putting out anything for the next 6 months, basically. Next year, they're going to be dropping a couple of games that could be good. They looked okay at the showcase that they had, but they might be good this year. So we gonna see. But anyways, that's the end of this topic. I don't really want to go too much deeper. I went down the rabbit hole already. Excuse me, I got the hiccups. So what are your thoughts on all this that I just said? Anything you want to point out that I might have got wrong? This isn't a wrong or right thing. I stated facts about the services and how they work when it comes to financial stuff. I stated facts about like exclusives on PlayStation, big time, way better than the Xbox exclusives right now. For now, until the future, we'll see what Xbox could do in 2023 when they drop some exclusives and they really putting some stuff out. Also, Xbox Day One is being an exciting feature, but is it really worth it when you have games that you're not that interested in and you're like, well, it's a day one, but is it a day one game that I'm gonna play? You know what I mean? Because if not, then you can wait. PlayStation will have it also, because if we looked, every game that I'm naming on PlayStation, on Xbox, is pretty much still on PlayStation 2. So by the way, you're watching two different services back and forth on the visuals. One of them is PlayStation, one of them is Xbox, and Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. So, you know, it's just a conversation, man, and it's fun. I had a lot of talks about that. I think I lost some friends. I honestly feel like I lost some friends over this. My boy Mike Dub, I gotta hit him up. I gotta call him or text him and give him a hug. I kind of went hard on him on Twitter and he just didn't stop. You know when you say something crazy to somebody and you make them look a little rough, make them look a little bad online, and they're your friend, and then you can tell they was feeling some kind of way, but you didn't let up. You didn't just be like, hey man, it's all good. I just kept piling it on top of him. I'm sending him links. I'm like, yo, here's the link. Stop talking crazy. Here's a link and evidence. Here's the data. Here, let me show you this. And I was showing him the proof about Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. And I don't think he liked it very much. I wouldn't have liked it myself. And I know why he was mad. And I ain't even mad at him. I love him. I just feel bad that I did that. You do what you gotta do sometimes. You on the internet, it's fun, man. Going back and forth. It's like a little sparring match. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's the breakdown, man. We're gonna watch this basketball game. We're gonna I can't show the basketball game, but I might watch it and play something. I don't know what to play. There's too many games for me right now. And I gotta play something I can pause. Something that I could pause and watch the game every couple seconds. Go back, come back. I can't play Apex because if I play Apex, I'm not going to watch the basketball game at all. And I'm going to miss the finals, which I never do. Very few times in my life I miss the finals. But yeah, let me go get some water, guys. I forgot to get myself. I usually bring a cup of water when I go to do this. Well, give me some water and see what's cracking. You said you don't want to worry about streaming? No, I don't mind staying on. If Twitch would let me, which they never will, if they let me put the game up here and we could talk while I'm watching it, I would do that every day, watching basketball, because I love basketball. We could just have a basketball stream. That would be the dream for me. Someday, if they're smart, if Twitch or YouTube, any of those companies are like, hey, we want to let viewers stream the game. The day that happens, bro, they're going to be billionaires. You know, you said you love a basketball stream for sure, bro. That'd be crazy. I would like put highlights of like my favorite players in between the commercials. You know, when there's a timeout and there's a commercial, I'll just throw in Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, Iverson, and all of the guys that were just amazing in the back in the day. And just show all their crazy ass plays that you're like, whoa, you know. Hey, let me go get this water, man. I'll be right back. There we go. So yeah, so that's the topic, and my thing is like, no disrespect to Nintendo, I said Nintendo's the better console to get because of the exclusives they have versus Xbox. Main attraction is that it has a day one game pass for a couple of games, you know, some decent games. And then you got PlayStation, which is the monster, who's king of the castle at the moment, with all the crazy exclusives and all the other platforms as well. They have 800 games compared to the 460 that Xbox has. So you're talking about tons and tons of value there. But yeah, so what are your thoughts on all that? I shared how the systems work, and that was the video, man. We did our damn thing. Now I got to think about what game I want to play. I was thinking of playing, what do you think? Horizon. I could play Horizon. I could pause that. I could play Guardians of the Galaxy. I could pause that. Sniper Elite. I already beat that, but I like that game. I like this game right here. It's an indie game that's decent. I just played the Ninja Turtle games. Have y'all tried that? Just came out today. I did a review on it, by the way. It's on social media. This right here was fire. That's all I can say. Like, I had fun playing by myself, and then I jumped on with my cousin at night. I was half asleep, but he wanted to play, so I was like, all right, let's go. And then I went and played for like 2 hours. We finished the story. It was a fun experience. Old school style, you know, really good stuff in my opinion. But yeah, man. And I got a whole bunch of other games here. A lot of these games are from the game PlayStation Plus. I showcased the PlayStation, and for those that are just tuning in, we did a big thing breaking down how these companies get their deals. Like every studio, how did they get their deal? How much are they making off their deal? As far as like, okay, well, this is a small studio, you want to get some money. For example, this game right here, in Memoir Blue, it's a small budget game. Hey, we'll give you 50,000 up front right now to put this game on Game Pass so people can play it on day one. Like, okay, 50,000, that's how much it costs for our thing, let's do it. And then it's like, okay, well, you can keep all the money from all these other services. Then all of a sudden the studio could make money. If it's a low budget game and nobody really cares for it, they could make money. Or they can lose money because the game got so popular and everybody loved it, but they're not gonna make no more money because you got the money up front, you know? So it's a complicated conversation, and it's a complicated contracts. And then for us players, it doesn't matter. We just want to play the games we want to play. You dig? there's a lot more to get into, but I don't want to get too nerdy on like data. I did my research. I like where this is headed. All right, for Xbox and PlayStation, they're battling to give you the best service. You have Nintendo falling behind. No disrespect to them, but their service is kind of cheap and isn't necessary as a gamer. You're better off on the Steam, you know, going on Steam, going on whatever, you know, smaller services that they have out there than the Nintendo right now. But Nintendo does have great exclusives, so that's a good console to have, you know. So it's just a whole thing, man. Gaming is at a good place. If it ever gets to the point where it's like Netflix or like Spotify, where people are getting big money, then I don't mind all of the games being day one. But if I can't get me a God of War quality, I don't want a day one. I prefer pay full price. Just my opinion. But yeah, if you can get them all, bro. Get them all. Go for it. All right, let me try to go into my gameplay section. Here we go. Now we chilling, man. I'm about to lay back, relax, and play some. Hey, do you think they will allow me to put the audio of the basketball game on the stream? How about I do that? I think that'll be interesting. So what I mean by audio is not the announcers. I'm talking about the crowd screaming, the ball bouncing. The way I watch basketball, I have the access to change the camera. So I can switch, I can put the audio on, watch the game while we talking, while I'm playing the video game. And it's just like the ball dribbling, players screaming, and the crowd screaming. Because I like to watch it with no commentary sometimes. When I'm playing a video game, I watch it with no commentary. That's weird, right? You can do that with the NBA League Pass or through Comcast. Two different ways to do it. It's a really nice feature, by the way. You might do that. So what's going on, Hooligan? What's this deal with your team, man? What's going on with the squad? We're changing the topic. We already done for the day. We got into the Xbox stuff. It was good. Let's just have a casual talk here, man. So for everybody that doesn't know, I am hosting a Apex tournament, and I'm kind of in a tough place because I'm about to announce the playoffs, but the servers are up and down, and I'm scared. I'm actually nervous and afraid to even start the playoffs because of all this BS. So I might want to delay it again for the first time. Wasn't gonna delay it, but I feel like delaying it just because I want to make sure the servers are fine. Like, who's gonna jump into playoffs and then have crashing servers? Pro players are upset about it. Everybody's upset about it. I'm gonna go ahead and try this game out real quick. This is a casual game I can pause any moment. It's not a big deal. Hooligan's watching me, but he's playing Apex right now. And he's on the final ring. And he got two other teams that he's fighting, and he has to survive it. And he's playing probably like solo. So now he's really going crazy. And he's not even in the chat. That's why he ain't talking. Am I wrong? Hey, where the hell is my... Oh, I'm on the wrong account. Bro. Okay, let's switch up. I'm on Cloudy's account. You looking for TikTok sounds to save? Ha ha ha, I dig it. I was asking about your team, man. Talk to me. Give me an update. What's going down with the team, bro? I still haven't beat this game fully. I love it. I'm at the end, I think. Yeah, you definitely want to post a lot, bro. The more you post, the more the algorithm respects you. Now, volume isn't always good. You gotta get engagement on your videos. So having engagement is just as important, even more important than anything. You got two teams competing to the face of the org. I know, I heard, bro. I love it. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. You know, the thing what you don't know, I probably never talk about directly to you. Let me turn off this music, by the way. The thing that you don't know, what I don't talk directly to you about is that Raven Clan is really special to me. Damn, I forgot how to play this game. Ow. Yo, he's hurting me, bro. Bro, they just throwing stuff at me, yo. Bro, the dude is shooting me, bro. I didn't even notice. But yeah, the Raven Clan is very special to me. They were around from the start, basically. And they've been the most consistent out of anybody in the world. And it means a lot to me. Hey, bro, I had to kill that guy. I'm gonna die here, bro. I don't even remember I got to this spot. Oh, I'm exhausted. There's a stamina bar for my blocking and stuff. This guy just doesn't stop attacking. There you go. Let's go, baby. So this is a samurai game. It's an independent game, very small, but it's really nice. Visually, it's good. Except when I get my ass kicked like that. I gotta turn off this setup. Yeah, so there is some updating on one game that I haven't put up. The stats are all together except one day. So I updated most of the teams, and let me look at it right now while we talk. And by the way, guys, if you want to rewind and watch the first hour of the show, that's where I talk about the Xbox stuff. I'm actually going to end the stream right now and stream again with a different title, just so that this could save. So I'll be back in 30 minutes in a minute. But before I do that, let me go in here and look for you, buddy. On the standings, I believe all of you guys that are in the Raven clans has outlaws are complete. Let's see who else. Goons are the only ones that haven't completed. They've been slacking. Raptors, I was gonna call y'all. Reapers are complete. Outlaws are above the Raptors. 203. Let's see. 203. Horizon 170. Horizon didn't make it either. When I mean make it like be in the top team versus you guys. I'm just looking at you guys' numbers. Yeah, is Raptors complete? Yeah, all you guys are complete. Except Goons. Goons is the only team that is straight booty, bro. I'm just playing. What I mean booty is that they only play like 2 games. Everybody else played the 10 games. Everybody watching, the league allows teams to play 10 events, and then basically we monitor their scores and see who has the highest in the league. Just so you guys understand how it works. Oh, that's why it's disbanded? Got you. Makes sense. Yeah, I don't see any of the Raven clan in the top 20, bro. Y'all did not cut it. You missed the top 20 by 2 points. Unreal. No way. Oh, that is heartbreaking. 22. You're the 22nd, and you only missed it by 2 points to be in the top 20. Damn. The Outlaws. I'm talking about the Outlaws. The Reapers are 26. Horizon's 28. They're actually still in it. Just so you know, breaking news. I shouldn't say this, but the first 40 teams have a chance in the playoffs. That's all I can say. So all those teams are making it. Horizon, Reapers, and Outlaws. Bro, don't tell Spotlight, bro. He's gonna be pissed. He's working with me now. He hears me tell you instead of him. Bro, let me text him right now before you snitch me out, bro. Let me text him before you snitch me out. I'm telling him before you tell him, bro. Oh, oh gosh. Whew. Almost got in trouble. All right, guys, I'm gonna be right back in a half hour. If y'all want to come back, we'll turn the stream off just so it can be about the topic, and then we'll be back for more in a little bit. It was good, man. It was good. We'll play some video games while I watch the Celtics win Game 6. It's gonna be the craziest game. We thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned a little bit about how the industry works and how things go, and we can further develop as we move forward. All right. Love you guys very much. I'll see you.